The year was 2021. Sony did something that everyone thought was a mistake. They took the internals of an A7S III, stripped away the viewfinder, painted it gray, added some mounting holes, and called it a cinema camera. The purists laughed. They called it a toy. They said real cinematographers need PL mounts and massive batteries. But then something happened. The FX3 didn't just succeed, it took over the world. From high-end Netflix productions to the most successful YouTube creators on the planet, the FX3 became the gold standard for the solo operator. It won a literal Academy Award for the creator. But it's been 5 years. The competition, Blackmagic, Canon, even Lumix, has caught up. And now, the whispers from Tokyo have turned into a roar. The Sony FX3 II isn't just an incremental update. It is a declaration of war. If the leaks are even 50% true, Sony is about to release a camera that makes everything else in your kit bag look like a relic from the past. We are talking about global shutter technology, AI-driven focus that borders on telepathy, and a sensor that defies the laws of low-light physics. If you are a filmmaker, a creator, or someone who simply cares about the future of the moving image, you need to sit down. This is everything we know about the Sony FX3 II, the camera that is about to kill the traditional cinema industry. To understand why the FX3 II is such a big deal, we have to look at the current landscape of 2026. For a long time, the line between cinema and mirrorless was clear. Cinema cameras had internal ND filters and cooling. Mirrorless cameras had autofocus and small bodies. The FX3 was the first to blur that line, but today that line is gone. Sony's biggest problem right now is their own success. The original FX3 is still so good that many people aren't upgrading. To make you buy a Mark II, Sony has to do something radical. They can't just give us a faster processor. They have to change the way we capture light. The heart of the FX3 II is rumored to be a brand new, partially stacked 16 megapixel full-frame sensor. Now I know what you're thinking. 16 megapixels? In 2026? Isn't that a step backward? Absolutely not. Here is the secret that Sony understands. Resolution is a trap. For cinema, 4K is still the king. By keeping the megapixel count lower, Sony can make the individual pixels, the photodiodes, much larger. Larger pixels mean more light. More light means less noise. We are looking at a native ISO range that could realistically make ISO 12,800 look like ISO 400 on a traditional camera. But the real magic isn't the resolution, it's the readout speed. There are two competing rumors right now. One says we are getting a 240 frames per second readout in 4K. The other, the one that has the industry shaking, is the global shutter. If you've ever seen a fast-moving object look slanted in a video, or seen flicker from LED lights, that's because of a rolling shutter. A global shutter captures every pixel on the sensor at the exact same microsecond. It eliminates motion distortion forever. If Sony brings the global shutter from the A9 III into a cinema body at an FX3 price point, game over. The Jello effect becomes a legend we tell our grandkids about. Let's talk about the dedicated AI processing unit. We saw the first version of this in the A7RV and the ZV-E1. But for the FX3 II, Sony is reportedly doubling the compute power.